Turn on light.
Okay,
Turn off light.
that's done.
So the next step is to write code for the Wi-Fi module. We'll be doing that in Visual Studio Code. Let's start Visual Studio Code and make a new project. I'll be using Platform.io, which is similar to Arduino, just that Visual Studio Code has much better editor to write code in. So this is the page that loads every time you start Visual Studio Code if you have Platform.io installed. So we'll create a new project. Let's name it IoT appliance, or rather Wi-Fi appliance controller. Appliance controller. Okay, let's select the right board, which should be ESP8266. So this is the right one, and we'll be using Arduino framework for this. Finish. Okay, so this will initialize everything, and we have to write our main code in the main.cpp file. This is very similar to how Arduino is used. So let's print hello world as it is the basic thing that everyone does. Serial dot begin 9800. Is it 98 or is it 96? It's 96. Oh, I don't know. Okay, and let's write it such that it prints hello world continuously. Println hello world. Let's try to build this, and let's just go upload and monitor. That's the wrong one. Okay, so basically I need to change the serial port with which it's trying to program the Wi-Fi module. Okay, so USB no serial port, upload port. Yep. So I can select what port I want to use to upload, and this one is the right one. Okay, and I also want to set the port for monitoring. So monitor port, and I'm gonna set the same one that I set for upload. I'm gonna save this, and then let's retry uploading. Okay, so this should work. This is not okay. Yep, it's working. Great. It's not monitoring by default. could not open port nothing. What? Didn't I save that? Okay, there you go. So the simple example works. Now let's add web server functionality to this project. ESP8266 web server. I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna use examples. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy this entire code and just try to run it. Or we could do some modifications. Okay. So all we need to do is listen for slash change state. I'll make a web method change state. So for example, so let's say the IP address of the Wi-Fi module is 192.168.0.110. Let's say this is the IP address. So I'll use this URL change state and then question mark on. So this will tell the Wi-Fi module that it is supposed to send a high on D4 pin, and off will set the D4 pin to low. That's what we need to implement basically. So let's remove all the unnecessary stuff from here. So let's try and run this. There's an inline and there's a root. So let's see if this works. I actually need to set my SSID and password. So let's set the SSID and password. So the SSID is test and the password is 1234 1234567 Let's upload and monitor. Nine 9600. Okay, so we have connected to the test Wi-Fi and the IP address is 115. So let's try doing that. Let's go to 115 and let's see what inline. So inline should send back this works well. Let's try that. Inline. Did we get Let's try Chrome then. Okay, 192.168.0.115. Okay, so there you go. We're getting what we need. So now just have to write some simple things, which is, first of all, let's change inline to set change state high on, and let's write one more, which is change state off. So these are the two functions that we'll be calling, and just be doing this. Basically, we'll send that for change state off, we'll send that appliance has turned off, and for this we'll send appliance has turned on. And also what we'll do is we'll change the pin, D4 pin, so do digital write and D4. Okay, so this should work. Let's try this. First, let's upload and monitor. Okay, we're connected. Let's try that now. Change, what was it? Change state on, appliance is turned on. That's exactly what we want. I'll have to check if the GPIO actually changes, but it should. And appliance is turned off. So this is a success. Now all we have to do is connect the output of that GPIO to a solid state relay and wire that relay in series with the mains supply. So that's what I'll be doing next. There's one more thing we need to do, which is we need to bind a IP address to the device. So go to your favorite browser, then type the IP address of your router. You should find this IP address on the back of your router. For mine it is 192.168.0.1. Then I need to find network settings, local network. So it's here, static DHCP, set static. There you go. Here you can set so okay, currently the thing I need to set a static IP address to is this one, and it's going to be set at 115. So apply. That's it, the router will restart. Okay, so I've connected it to the oscilloscope channel 1. I've sent the change state of command as it can be seen here. So I'll send the change state on command. Let's see what happens. Okay. So basically that works. Now the next step is to connect it to the solid state relay I've built. Next we need a 5V power supply, for which I'll be using a USB power adapter. So I cut this using a angle grinder, and we can have a look at the PCB. So we'll be using this to power the node MCU. That's the negative. That's the negative terminal. So the node MCU has a onboard 3.3 voltage regulator. So there's no problem with directly powering it through 5 volts. There's a VN pin right here, right there. So we'll just connect the 5 volts to VN and GND here. Once you've connected the USB power supply to the node MCU, make sure that the GPIO turns on and off by sending it those HTTP commands. Next thing you should do, once you've confirmed that the GPIO changes states based on those HTTP requests, you need to insulate all the modules. Make sure that none of the mains voltage parts are exposed. So I've put everything together and we can test this out. So that's the go and that turns on. And it turns off. So now what we can do is add this to Siri. So we'll be using the shortcuts app to do this. First go to create shortcut and add action, web, Safari, then you go to get contents of URL. You can see that the light came on. So we give it turn on plants. I'll turn on light. So we've created a shortcut to turn on light. Every time you press that. Now let's create a shortcut to turn off light. Add action, go to web, get contents of URL, the URL the light turns off. Let's save this shortcut. Turn off light. Done. So now we have both the shortcuts. So when I press turn on light, the light comes on. Sorry. When I press turn on light, it comes on. When I press turn off light, the light goes off. Now I can use Siri to do this as well. Turn on light.
That's done.
Turn off light.
That's done.
Turn on light.
Okay.
Turn off light.
That's done.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.